So after an absolute shambles of a Michigan race, this is what our rival system looks like right now. No real surprise that Ryan Blaney is on there, but as you can see, it just goes on and 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 on. And it stops at Matt DiBenedetto, who's mad at me, and pretty much everybody else is mad at me until we get to Eric Almirola, focusing on the Smithfield and being neutral. So the good thing about this, or at least the good news, is that the next race in the schedule is the Sonoma Toyota Savemart 350, meaning a road course race, meaning there's potentially some opportunity to spread the field out a little bit and not have to run people over to get positions. But one thing we are going to do, because it is a road course race, we're going to turn the strict yellows off to relaxed yellows, because if not, the AI seem to struggle a lot with the hairpin coming onto the main straightaway at Sonoma. They seem to run into each other a lot, and that brings out cautions a lot of times, even on relaxed yellow. So to try to get the most green flag racing out of this video, we're going to do that. So let's head to this Toyota Savemart 350 at Sonoma. So here we are in wine country, Sonoma Raceway, and it's time to get qualified. Hopefully, I can actually put together a fairly clean lap and actually qualify higher than 30th. But then again, don't hold your breath, folks. So off of the final corner, put together a pretty decent lap, I would say, all things considered. Probably still going to be 30th. Ha! 28th. Suck it, haters. Yeah. 3 seconds off the pace. Really? Really? 3 seconds off the pace. How? Whoa, that's more than 3 seconds. 108? 108? I feel like that's slightly unrealistic. That's like, what? Good God. Good God, Truex. Them cheating Toyotas. Them cheating Toyotas at the front.
NASCAR returns to the Golden State for the Toyota Savemart 350 on PRN. Today, Sonoma Raceway will host the first of 2 road course events on the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series schedule. We're all set to go 110 laps through the heart of wine country. But this twisting 12-turn, 1.99-mile layout will be anything but relaxing for these drivers. The pace car is coming down to pit road. It's time to go racing.
Wow, they're really skimping on their coverage of the pre-race if the pace car is coming down to pit road just as soon as they finish the TV intro. What is this, an IndyCar coverage race? Oh boy, well, Austin Dillon's going to slam into me immediately. Because of course he is a rival, but we're going to use the old outside groove here at Sonoma. Larson line, I guess you could call it in some ways, and dive underneath McFlurry here. Of course, he's a rival, so he's not going to be the nicest to me. As we're working up through the S's for the first time, kind of slow here in traffic. Also, for some reason, we're doing this at sunset. It's like dive underneath McFlurry. Everybody slowing down here for the Robbie Gordon corner. Oh, and touching with Joey Logano there. Danica Patrick up to 9th, but we're going to slice down to the inside and take both her and Daniel Suarez as we get down and start heading up to the second S's at Sonoma. These are kind of the downhill S's. The other ones are uphill, even though this is kind of uphill too. With this corner right here, this is the set of corners that's so difficult in NASCAR Heat Evolution. Here comes Danica to the outside. I guess the inside of that corner, outside of the next one, and actually will pull that move off. I'm going to try to be careful around Danica because, again, she's a rival. And last thing I want her to do is spin me out in a fast corner. But look at that. Look at that dirty driving. Woo-wee. That was just absolutely not going to give me that corner one way or the other, despite the fact that she left the space for a semi-truck to come through on the inside. And then she decided to close the door. She invited me in and then ensnared me in her trap. I mean, like a Venus flytrap. Oh dear. Okay, so gonna try to get around the beer wagon. Brad Keselowski. Oh, guidance counselor Brad not giving me a whole lot of real estate on the outside, just enough to go around the outside. Use the Robbie Gobby line out here.
All right.
And very late, last of the late breakers on the binders a little too hard there. Lock the brakes up. For some reason, there's a Ferris wheel at this track now. I'm pretty sure there was not in NASCAR Heat Evolution, and that's the first time I've kind of noticed that in NASCAR Heat 2. So, something interesting to point out. as I head down through the S's once again and into this corner, which, if you get it right, can be the best corner on the track in terms of lap time. Didn't quite get it right that time, but at least I got it better than when Danica passed me around the outside. And here comes Kenseth. I'm going to get on the throttle fairly early. Almost caught the wall on the exit, maybe a little too early on the throttle. Well, Kenseth is going to hit the inside wall. So, not sure what you're doing there, son. We're going to drive around the outside of him. Maybe. Gonna sneak up the inside. Yeah, look at that. Look at that trail braking. That's how we do it right there. Gonna kind of push out wide just a little bit, but it's all right. We're already up to 6th spot. Coming in behind Paul Menard here. Gonna try to pass him as we head down the hill. On the brakes hard. Dive it in there. Get up on 2 wheels. Sure, why not? A little too much. A little too much. Track limits. Who needs them? Yeah, but that was bad braking. If you're going to abuse track limits, at least we get your braking point right, and that was not a very good braking point. Using the curbs, bouncing over them. On the brakes just a little bit, up on the curb. Driving down the hill once again. Sweeping corner. Down a gear early. You have to brake so early in these stock cars versus, you know, an open wheel car, like driving an Indy car around here in project cars, or a sports car around here in Gran Turismo. It's just all very, very different as I drive around Matt Kenseth, because I completely and absolutely missed my braking point going into the hairpin that time. Only 2 laps to go on the stage, so pretty quick stages here at Sonoma, as you'd kind of expect. And again, locking up the brakes. Cannot be doing very good on my tires. Actually, not too bad. Not too bad. So that's interesting. I could pull a bit of a tire strategy later in this race, considering the tire wear for the stage. And absolutely hit that curb pretty straight that time. Trying to make up as much time as possible, and that time we'll get around Paul Menard. So up behind Clint Boyer now, who I think won this race in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So a former winner running up front, not a real surprise. But I guess it was a surprise that Boyer won, and then we're off in the grass. Paul Menard hits me. Around he goes. He saves it. Matt Kenseth is not going to save it, I don't think. Nope. Well, maybe he will. Wow. This is why we turned the strict yellows off for this race. Holy smokes. Synchronized spinning, everybody. But we all hold it together. Somehow, everybody's still in the race. Nobody caught the wall. Everybody just spun across the grass, and we're still going. 1 lap to go on the stage, presented by Credit One Bank. Down a gear. Don't really need to use 2nd. Don't want to spin the wheels up too much. 3rd gives you some nice drive off of the corner. Lifting off the gas, up through the S's once again. Just catching the curb a little bit. Sure, why not? On the brakes fairly early. Slow in, fast out. Dive over the curb. Very nice. Nice and easy down into here. Catch that curb that Larson likes to use a lot and bounces his car up onto 2 wheels in real life. And that's how he loses road course races. Down a gear. Almost out. That was almost the same mistake I made on the previous lap, so that wasn't the most smart thing in the entire world to try to do twice. What's the definition of insanity again? I don't remember. Anyway, looks like we got the leaders coming off of turn 4. Not turn 4. Turn 11. I think it's turn 11. I think the hairpin's turn 11 on this layout of Sonoma. But then again, I could be wrong. Trevor Bayne in the pits, so rip Trevor Bayne already. And also rip somebody else. So there's 2 cars in the pits, but we'll cross the line, take 5th in the stage. And they liked my lap. Kyle Busch won the stage. And now we've got the official stage 1 results in. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Danica Patrick actually picks up some stage points because of some of the nonsense that was going on in the back of the pack. Everybody coming into the pits. So we will as well. Everything looking just A-OK from the perspective of adjustments. And we'll come back out of the pits in 5th spot. Danica Patrick running in 8th. Joey Logano in 10th. And guidance counselor Brad alongside of me. With Stuart Haas racing cars in front of me directly. And then a couple of Joe Gibbs, at least prepared cars in the front row. with Busch and Truex. And, okay, thank you. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I got hit by Boyer, then decided to just not brake, and now I'm sliding around the grass. The grass is absolutely deadly in this game. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. Really appreciate you placing me back on the track. I really needed that extra delay, despite the fact that I was already on the track. Oh, God. So, all the way in the back after trying to be a hero on the restart. So, let's be a hero again. And the Dillons are both at the back. I guess that's kind of realistic for a road course race. And all the way down, passing everybody to the inside. Thankfully, the one good thing about this is that aerodynamics really don't mean a whole lot. At least in NASCAR road racing. My car is feeling fairly slow. Around goes Jamie McFlurry and Matt Kenseth. That was a big old crash. And that will bring out the yellow. So that was a good break for me. It means I'll be able to come in, take 4 tires and fuel and repairs, more importantly. This is going to be a bit interesting here on the restart, though.
Stay sharp. Green's coming. Okay.
Let's see how we can do as we get back to racing. 39th spot. And everybody accelerating through the field. Going to dive through on the outside. There was not a space for a car there, but I decided to make one anyway. Look at all these cars going slow. Going to be up to 20th before I even get to turn 1. Oh, Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon did not appreciate that move one bit. Tried to take me out, and he ended up wrecking himself. Wow. That was interesting. That was the most blatant wreck attempt I've ever seen in this game, and Jimmy Johnson just decided not to go. Thanks, mate. Teammate, I should say. And for some reason, Elliott Sadler running up front here as well. Look at this domination on fresh tires. That's how you do it right there. Not sure if the half a lap that the field ran prior to this really caused them a lot of distress to their tires, but it's enough of a gap to get me going here. So let's see if we can get Hamlin up into 4th gear. Lifting off the gas just a little bit, down a gear, on the brakes, and on the throttle through the corner. Up to 4th gear once again. Oh, yellow. I had seen the game lagging. I didn't want to point it out, but we got some sort of problem, and nobody coming into the pits. This is interesting. This is very interesting. I've got 9 laps left to fuel. You know what? Do I want to take the... Nah, you know what? I'm not going to take the track position. Or I am going to take the track position. I was thinking about taking the fuel mileage over that, but seeing how this race has gone, especially with how aggressive the rivals are in the back, I'd like to avoid that as best I can. Only problem is I was on the inside, and as you can see, Elliott Sadler tried to take me out. Diving up the inside of my teammate Kane. And we've hit Paul Menard again. Come on, get back on the track. Thank you. Oh, no, God almighty. And I've hit De Benedetto. That's going to make him a rival. Oh, good Lord. This is a comedy of errors. Why is it not? Why is the grass so slippery? Get out of here, Stenhouse. He's going to spin back. I'm going to get karma'd here. Nope, he didn't. I thought he was going to spin out into the runoff area. Just screwed Joey Gase. Well, I should have pitted. If we're gonna just do that, I should have pitted. But you know, I just decided to bulldoze Ricky Stenhouse. And there, McFlurry's trying to wreck again. I dove over on the grass to avoid what I thought was coming. And then I slammed into Ty Dillon. We're still slamming into up. That's Ty Dillon probably about to crash. No, he saved it somehow. Now underneath the BK cars, maybe. LaJoy was not gonna do the Danica thing. He's still coming. He's still coming. Sorry, Chase. I'll buy you dinner or something after that. 14 laps to go. Fuel is 7. So, right now, I guess we're in the pit window. Oh, God almighty. Landon Castle sneaks up to the inside. He gets around. McFlurry's got a huge hood problem going on with his car. Oh, God almighty. Losing it again. Absolutely slamming the... Uh-oh. Corey LaJoy. That was pretty blatant. Hopefully that brings out a yellow. Probably won't because he's all the way down the runoff area. That's like the Angry Planes mod in GTA. It's like if you're slow, they are just absolutely going to plow into you. They're not going to use their brakes. It's like Matt Kenseth levels of anger. I almost lost it. Chris Buescher going to go down to the inside. Whatever happened to James Buescher? Remember him? Anyone else remember James Buescher? Here in the next couple laps, I think I'm going to make a bit of a strategery call. Because we're at the back anyway, I feel like if I pit early, if the field is fairly spread out, I might be able to undercut people, being able to race on a clean track. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. The front end of the car is completely destroyed. But if I just come in for gas with 18 of 30, so I need to get to 10 laps to go. So I need to make 2 more laps before I can make it to the end. And that's when the pit window will open for me officially. When I just can't pass anybody with this damage. McFlurry's car is completely torn up as well. Remember when I said there wasn't going to be a bunch of bumper-to-bumper action during this race? I think I lied a little bit. Yeah, my car just has nothing left because of how damaged it is.
Car left.
On the throttle. Pull away from McFlurry at least. So the radiator's in trouble. Aerodynamics are absolutely gone on the front. Got 12 laps to go.
Still there.
So actually, I need to make it another 2 laps before I can come into the pits. I'd love a yellow in some ways. Some ways I wouldn't. McDowell's a road course ringer.
Hold your line.
So we'll dive up the inside of him. Pass him fairly cleanly that time. There was a little bit of contact, but it wasn't too much. But he's going to respond in kind. Now let's see if we can get around Cole Witt. Yes, I can. And down to the inside of Austin Dillon as well. Not going to show him any respect because of what he did earlier in the race to me. Here comes Dillon, making a little bit of contact with me. So we head down through the S's, down a gear, on the curb. Kenseth almost ran off the track right there. And we got pit stops. Cars coming into the pits. That's fairly early. That is fairly early. Well, I guess they're trying to undercut me. Well, never mind. New strategy call. We're going to stay out as long as possible. I've got 5 laps to go on my fuel. And Timmy Hill, we're now battling him for first place. Okay, that's interesting. And he just decided to, I would say not stop, but he did stop, just way too much. Dive it up the inside of Timmy Hill. Absolutely use up Timmy Hill. This is the greatest battle for the lead ever. Oh God, I'm off the track. Just gotta wait till I get back onto the pavement, otherwise the freaking grass has 0 grip. And Timmy Hill pulls away due to that nonsense. On the brakes very hard. Too hard, really. So Timmy's probably going to be into the pits this time around, I would imagine. Let's see what the... Oh, God almighty, no! I wanted to see what the damage was like. And I just went and made it worse. So maybe we don't want to do that anymore. Well, Timmy Hill into the pits, so all that rubbing and racing was not worthwhile to do. I need to put way more than 7 seconds on Clint Boyer, though. So it's time to go. Time to set some amazing lap times right here, right now.
All right, 10 to go. Keep it nice and smooth.
And there we go, right at 10 to go. That is the pit window, and Corey LaJoie coming out of the pits right in front of me in 39th place. So how's this all going to work out?
Stay right. Keep it right there.
It's going to work out that way. I'm going to dump him. No yellow. It's all good. No yellow. Didn't need it. That's how you take care of lap cars, boys and girls. Just dump them. Just dump them. That's all you gotta do. And now the temperature's going up. So the car's probably gonna blow up. So it's gonna blow up. We're leading the race. Probably not gonna be able to make it to the end. Well, this is exciting. All of the things are going wrong. At the very least, this isn't a lot of full throttle action on this track. So it makes me kind of hopeful that it won't fully blow up in 9 laps, plus a pit stop. But you never know. Of course, on the pit stop, I can't take a bunch of tape off the grill, which might help that, but the other problem is it'll extend the amount of time I spend in the pits, which is not going to be all that fun either. Catch that curb. Didn't really catch the curb. There was no curb to be caught there. Now, see, here's something that's interesting. I think this is the first time I've tried to blow up an engine in NASCAR Heat 2. In NASCAR Evolution, for whatever reason, like, before you blew your engine up, they would throw a yellow. So I wonder if that will happen here. Or if we're going to have a DNF because we grenaded a Hendrick engine. Let's find out, shall we? I'm not coming in until the fuel
Car ahead is pitting.
alarm is on, and now more pit stops. More pit stops. Ryan Blaney coming into the pits. That's interesting. Are they going to have to pit twice? That would be very surprising. If they have to pit twice, I'm in good shape. 2 laps to go on fuel. We'll see how it is the next time I come around. Should be able to make it the next couple laps here. But I've got all the warning lights on the dash on. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here, is just blow the thing up, kill the aerodynamics, kill the aero, kill the fuel tank. Well, the radiator, oh, never mind, it's not blowing, it's blowing up again. Sorry, David Reagan. Bye.
We're almost out of gas.
Just keep dumping them. They're not going to throw a yellow. They're not going to throw a yellow. I got the 88. I got the 88 Shield. Now, what I would really like is if they do crash, they take out Kyle Busch. So that we eliminate that problem from this race. Yeah, 1 lap to go on fuel, so I'm going to have to come in this time. This time around, I'm going to have to come in. So Kyle Busch is going to take this lead over in pretty convincing fashion, unfortunately. And it's going to take a miracle for me to win this thing from here. But hey, at least I got some leading going on, and down into the pits. Into the pits I come. 2 tires, taking the tape off the grill to try to just ease the plight on the engine, and 2 cans of fuel. Just kind of a precautionary measure. Waiting, and out of the pits in 11.2 seconds. So how far down the order are we? 14th. So I can still complete the incentive contract if I stay ahead of Elliott Sadler. It's the incentive contract I signed up for. It's 15th or better in every single race, which I think I can pull off. Unless I do that. Here comes Sadler down to the inside. He's going to make that pass, so I'm going to have to get a bit mean. Bye, Elliott. Sorry, Elliott. Now, don't bring out the yellow. For whatever reason, that corner doesn't seem to bring out the yellow, so as long as everybody stays copacetic, I think we'll be all right. Timmy Hill up into 15th. So his strategy obviously worked out pretty well as well. Wow, my car is just not turning at all. But I'll tell you what's good is the fact that it looks like the engine temp is finally normalized a little bit. So I might just get away till the end of the race without blowing the engine up. So that's a good thing. Almost hitting the... Well, I did hit the wall. I said almost hit the wall. No, I really did hit the wall. That was a real thing that happened. So it's weird. It's so weird. The top 13 have a 16-second lead over everyone else. How did that happen? Are those guys on an alternate strategy? I very much doubt it, but you just never know. I've still got 8 laps to go on the fuel with a very, very wrecked race car right now, with 5 laps to go in the race coming up too. And a 4.5 second gap over Timmy Hill, so at least I don't have to worry about any pressure from behind necessarily. Hard on the brakes, get it down into the corner, get out on the curbing. Over the curb, yeah, yellow, there it is. Everybody coming into the pits too. So, that means David's gonna come in, no fuel. But this time we're gonna get repairs, 4 tires, and I'm gonna go for it here. I got 32 positions to make up, and I don't know how many laps to go. Don't have an overtime yet, so that's still in the cards. But we'll find out shortly how many laps to go. 3. So 1 extra past a green-white checker. As Stenhouse is making my move up the field. And Corey LaJoie is trying to get some revenge for earlier. Not really surprised, but I'm already up to 16th. So I've only got to pass Stenhouse to get my incentive contract completed for at least today's race. Oh, well, we'll dump him for 15th. Sure, why not? Bye, Stenhouse.
Stay right there.
On the throttle all the way up into 11th already. Little too ambitious on the brakes, though, I have to say. Game was lagging, but I'm not sure why it was lagging. Could be a crash. Could not be. We'll see. But considering that the overtime line exists in this game, we need to make up as many positions as possible, because if there is a caution and then there's another caution, the race could be over. Oh, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. That was just, hey, you know what, bonsai, and then no. Okay, so this is kind of a replay of the first restart, where I was able to almost get up into the lead, but then I got pushed off the track and went into the grass, and then it was game over for me. So let's see if we can not do that this time. Well, Danica Patrick just made a mockery out of that, and I just wrecked DJ Kennington out of a top 5.
Clear.
Well, and we get a yellow. Well, good for DJ Kennington, I guess. And now we're finally in overtime. Elliott Sadler, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick are the first 3. Wow, what a shambles of a race this is. Here we go.
Let's go get it. 2 to go.
2 laps remaining here at Sonoma.
Car there.
Wine Country, which is perfect for Kyle Busch to win in Wine Country. But right now, you don't need to worry about that. You need to try to chase him down, which I'm going to try to do. Car trying to protest. I'm going to dive it up the inside. Oh, almost go up on 2 wheels, but we hold it together. Kyle Busch holding on to the lead. That was some serious craziness right there. Up on 2 wheels, but we're going to go side by side through the S's with Kyle Busch. What a battle for the lead. Oh, no. Kyle gets into me. Oh. Into the rear goes Kevin Harvick. We're going across the grass. Dukes of Hazzard style. Easy for me to say. We're down to 4th place. So now I got 3 positions to make up in 1 lap, and possibly there may be a yellow coming out. You never know. Hard on the brakes. Trying to accelerate out. Can't quite get a good drive off of the corner. Timmy Hill up into the top 5. Kurt Busch smacks the wall. Could be a Busch 1-2 here if he gets around Elliott Sadler, which it looks like he's trying to, but if anything to say about it I am. So around the outside of Kurt Busch, side by side making contact. Elliott Sadler just out in front. I just don't have the straight line speed with the aerodynamics the way they are in the car. Surely there's some engine damage as well with the way the car got into the wall. Dukes of Hazzard off the curb again. Trying to pass another Busch brother on that curb. Down a gear. Final lap. Got to go for it. Kurt tries to wreck me, but I hold on to it. Now we got to go get Elliott Sadler. Got to go get him. Got to go get him. Working our way through the S's. Hard on the throttle. Down the straightaway. Or down the S's. Coming to this final corner. Second to last corner, I should say. On the throttle. Well, we're not going to get Kyle Busch, but I think I may get second around Sadler. Down into second gear. Yes, around Elliott Sadler. He's going to come back on the inside. Can't do it. We are going to take a hard fought second place here at Sonoma. And that's a pretty good result, all things considered. Oh, second place, but it was a pretty hard fought, I wouldn't say well-earned second place because I wrecked pretty much the entire field to get there, but it was crazy. What a crazy race this one was. As you can see, the side-by-side duel between me and Kyle Busch, which did not end very well for me. We're going to move up into the $13 million club. As you can see, the Dukes of Hazzard replay in the background. And, yeah, $13 million. And in the points, we're now falling to second in terms of points because Kyle Busch, with his win, moves up. Joey Logano up into third. 3 drivers in the 500 scored points. Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch are now tied in terms of wins, but playoff points, Busch moves up into second. So let's head back and get trash talked in the garage because you just know that's coming. So, first incentive contract, got it done. Got it done, and no trash talk. I guess I've used up all my trash talk. So, the next one. Going to be one I think you're going to want to see. I think a lot of people are going to want to see this one. Daytona, the Coke 0400, our next plate race. And those videos and those races are always popular. So, that's going to be crazy. We'll try to avoid the big one. But I suspect with the amount of rivals we're going to have after Sonoma, it's going to be not very likely that we're going to get out of there unscathed. Can't wait to see you at Daytona for the Coke 0400. Until then, this has been David Land on YouTube. Like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you at the Coke 0400 at Tona. Wait, half the Daytona logo is cut off. What the heck?